Hello everyone, and welcome into the crypto garden. This is Ryan, and I am excited to share with you a little bit more of a deep headspace about what this project is, what it means to me, and why I am so excited to be sharing these words and ideas with you. So earlier today, I was attempting to record my daily observations of Bitcoin and the market, the crypto market on today, May 10th, 2021, as we've seen one of these flash crashes where everything is in the green, everything is cruising, everything is optimism, everyone is smiling, and then the market drops by 10%, and all of those beautiful gains and all of the dialogue turn from greed to fear. And I will tell you, I have only gotten into the crypto space recently. I bought my first Ethereum in 2018, and it was at the behest of a friend that was very excited about the space, had been in it for a while, and was sharing it like a religion with anyone who would listen. And so at his insistence, I bought my first cryptocurrency. I bought $100 of Ethereum. Had no idea what Ethereum was. It was just there, and it seemed cheaper than Bitcoin, so I bought Ethereum, $100. And within a couple months, that $100 went down to $80, and then $70, and then $60, and then $30, and it hung out there at around $24 for, it felt like, years. And I said, crypto. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't put my life savings in when we were talking about it. And so I've had in the back of my mind since my early introduction that, you know, this is a place where $100 can turn into $25. And that's that. So the next moment of interest is really the beginning of this year, when I left the company that I started in 2011, a technology startup that was aiming to reconnect communities, to help them use their resources more effectively, to disintermediate banks and lenders and the normal controllers of a community's value. It was a project that used techniques like crowdfunding and digital fundraising and online storytelling to help individuals and communities and organizations fundraise from communities of engaged supporters. So in my DNA, in my core, I am driven by this vision that myself and my co-founders had in the last decade of trying to connect, support, and empower people to dream and build in ways that have never before been possible. And like I said at the beginning of this year, I exited from that company. It was not a fun exit. It was with new owners and kind of a falling out with the founders and the new way of things. And I found myself at the beginning of this year wondering if I would ever love again, if I would ever find something else that I cared about as passionately as this concept of connecting communities and empowering people through crowdfunding and through community fundraising. And then, because I had the time to focus on it, when Elon Musk and Tesla invested or put, $1.5 billion of their company's cash into Bitcoin in early February, I was like, all right, cryptocurrency, what has that been doing? And lo and behold, opening up my Coinbase app from several years before, there was my Ethereum, and now that $100 is worth like $160. And I started paying attention, and I did a FOMO buy into Bitcoin. I felt that if this was truly the institutions jumping in, that the price would never be lower again. And I bought my first Bitcoin at $43,000 in February. And if you have seen any of my posts or videos, I'm sure you can tell that when I go into something, I go into it with full force. So to say I've been obsessed with crypto for the last 3.5 months is an understatement. I have spent just about every free moment reading and watching and taking online courses and learning how to do technical analysis on charts and building a portfolio and reading white papers, studying up on projects, connecting with other people in the space. And I found in this space, in a couple moments and instances, holy shit, I can love again. I can feel this strongly about something twice in my life. And so I just want you to know this, that my interest in crypto is obviously and partly that it is a place where $100 can become $160 without you even knowing. It can also be a place where $100 turns into $25 in a short period of time. So I am very interested in just the mechanics, the technical ability for a person with good information to build a portfolio. No, Luna, leave it. Hey, leave it. It's like a hurt bird. Leave it, come on. To take your life's value, the money that you've worked so hard for your whole life, and put it in a better store of value. Come here, Lou. Hey. That will grow over time instead of diminish with inflationary currencies and everything that the fiat currency world is doing right now. So there's absolutely that aspect. And part of the crypto garden is I want to learn from the people here. I want to share the things that I've learned with the people here so that we can all become better technical masters of our own personal wealth. There is so much opportunity in an asymmetrical environment like crypto for us to take our life's work and put it into something that is going to allow us to retire, allow us to have some financial freedom. Before crypto, I had most of my money and savings in bank accounts that were earning basically nothing in interest. You know, I paid my taxes and I looked at my interest statement from my bank, and it was less than I probably have made in a few minutes this year in crypto. So I think a lot of you are probably here for that reason, that you want to get into a space where there are these huge gains that can be made. You want to learn just enough to not do anything foolish, and you want to follow the lead of people that are smart, that have done this successfully before. And so I can't ignore that aspect of the crypto garden and why it's here. The other kind of sandwich piece of this, though, is that part of what I have learned, actually a large part of what I have learned and just woken up to, is the absolute hand-to-God, honest fact that this is a market that is wrought with manipulation and predation and chicanery. It's a crooked circus. And if you are not paying attention, if you are coming in the gates because you saw the flashing lights and you see the people walking out with the huge teddy bear and you think you're going to go get one too, beware. Because there are a lot of forces at play that can and will take your money. And one of the biggest things that will do that is just this cycle, this intentional movement of the market that gets you to FOMO in, to believe the narrative that things are going to the moon, and then to scare the absolute pants off of you into selling everything at the worst possible time, just so that those interests can buy it back at a discount from what they sold it to you for, and sell it back to you a second time. And I speak from experience here because already in this space, even in this short amount of time, I have experienced that cycle enough times to kind of be sick of it. I bought Bitcoin, I told you, at $43,000, and I bought it again at $60,000, or close to, like $58,000, when it was on that first big run-up before it crashed down in February and March. And I remember that morning when this huge stellar rocket ship that I had just bought a ticket and hopped on board, literally taking money out of my the equity of my house and putting into this narrative, all of a sudden was going completely in the other direction, and pretty far down in the other direction. And I was thinking and feeling emotions that I can't describe. I was doing things that in retrospect were exactly the kind of foolish actions that are desired from a retail investor like me, who's just watching the YouTubes, listening to the Twitters, and buying in at the worst possible time. And as soon as that happened, that was really my go point to start learning more. I knew that there were huge gains. I knew that there was a story here that I believed in, but I also knew that something had just happened to me that didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to, in the morning, be watching people that I thought were experts, that I really respected, giving me these wild predictions of where this was all going, and within the next couple days, see everything that I had hoped and dreamed just go down the toilet. And I remember that period of just sort of this wobbling back and forth, buying and selling and trying to figure out what I was going to do, and really just undermining my positions. My only saving grace is that I had bought in early enough that all of those later mistakes were kind of muted a little bit. So I never was completely upside down, but I definitely saw, the early gains washed out by the later mistakes. And that sent me down this rabbit hole and really understanding how this market is moved, how it is manipulated, how the large interests move the price to have these events happen on little time frames, on medium time frames, on big time frames, that like a saw just tears at the emotions of normal people to get them to buy at the worst time and sell at the worst time. So that's the kind of middle layer of the sandwich here, is that part of the crypto garden, it's not just helping you have these great buy opportunities, these great moments of, multiplying your money. It's also, I feel, an education on what this actually is, who's actually behind it, and how we cannot get suckered by it. Because I think that there needs to be that kind of sober level-headedness to understand that we are in a market right now that is very close to the market top, probably. There might be a second run. I pray there's a second run this year, that we have kind of a double top. But by all technical indicators, we are at or very damn close to a cycle top. And we have, as far as Bitcoin goes, and we have these altcoins that are just exploding all over the place. We've got coins that have absolutely no actual value, no technical value, no utility, no application. We have, I know it's an easy thing to pick on, but we have a coin that was literally created as a joke that has pumped up tens of thousands of percents, and people don't even understand when they're buying into, and who controls it. I'm sorry to pick on Doge. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are going to get into this space because of Doge, and that's probably a blessing in and of itself. But a lot of those people are going to have this be their first experience. Doge, I think it's 70% of the supply is controlled by 12 addresses. So this is not the people's coin. This is not the narrative that you might be getting on Twitter and from the cool kid at the coffee bar. This is a easily manipulated stock. Furthermore, it's not even close to scarce. There are millions of new Dogecoin created every year. So there's no scarcity. There's no other than the fever and the desire for gains. There is no technical value to a coin like Dogecoin. And a lot of others too, and that's what I'm saying. Like, in this time and place right now, it's a place where we see these huge, just wild caricatures of giant ups and giant downs. And I want to be the crypto community that understands what's happening right now and why, and doesn't FOMO in to an opportunity only to get blindsided and wrecked. So I'm sorry to, rag on Doge so hard. I'm sorry to rag on what a lot of people are so excited about, which are just these huge, 100x type opportunities. But this is my middle layer. This is my, education, and just having us all watch out for each other and understand that we are not in a safe environment. We are in an environment that is trying to take your money. And for a lot of us, for a lot of people, that is, it can, it has, and it will. So with that being said, the real icing, I guess I'm going from mixed metaphors, from the sandwich to now a cake. The icing on the cake for me is a full circle of what I started with. I feel so strongly that this is a space, this is a way that we can not only improve our own well-being financially, we can fundamentally be in as early adopters with a whole field of opportunity in front of us, because this is the way, this is the means by which humans are going to solve one of the biggest challenges of this century. And that is the creation, the storing, and the transfer of value in a digital global economy. And the opportunity there to not just benefit because we're first movers, we can get onto one of these lifeboats early, we can build a portfolio that is a rock for us on the long term and can enable new possibilities in our lifestyle and our opportunities, but that we can do that for others as well. That we can participate in, support, perhaps even start projects that fundamentally seek to help people in this world who don't have a fair shake, who don't have the privilege and opportunity. And I love Charles Hoskinson and Cardano and that project and the ethos behind it. The view that this is not about this one day and this one market cycle and this one opportunity, the price of Cardano this morning versus this afternoon, that the people that right now are trying to benefit and buy and sell Cardano and trade it like this sort of poker chip are missing the point that this is a technology that is built to empower the people that do not have that privilege at all right now. That it is something that is designed and being put into the world to bring equality and opportunity to those that do not have it. And if you're listening to this right now, that is not you. And so this, it's deep. This is deep. This is human. This, to me, is that beacon. That this is a space where not only can we personally benefit, but we can invest in projects. We can be in the space. We can be helping guide and steer a community of people that has more than just their own self-interest at heart. And that we can see the unfolding and the future that could be here under the surface if we're willing to work for it and support it and be advocates for it and do what we can to build our own little stake in this new frontier. And so I just want to share that all with you because, again, I was going to record a video that was just like a technical analysis of Bitcoin today and the market and the dip and, how am I arranging my portfolio? What am I doing? But I would rather be real about this community, this crypto garden being something that I care about, that I want it to grow. I want you to grow in it and with it. And I don't know, I felt compelled to share with you this backstory so that regardless of what happens to your investment today, tomorrow, next year, in the future, that you have this open invitation to be part of a community that cares about ourselves, about each other, and about the world at large, enough to have these types of conversations and to lift each other up and to help each other, support each other, make good decisions together, and to build something that we're truly proud of together. You know, I just gave you my backstory, but I would not be here if it weren't for Pete and his, taking me out for coffee the other morning, or we had yerba mate, but going to yerba mate together the other morning, and just seeing in him a kindred spirit, and that he is so passionate about this. He's actually right now taking courses for understanding the Cardano blockchain. He has his own world-changing project that he believes in, and we just, the sparks flew. We're pretty old friends, but we realized that we had this in common, and we wanted to start something together. And now here you are listening to this. So I just wanted to share all that because to me, it's foundational. To me, it's more important than just a daily technical analysis. And I hope it excites you. I hope it lets you know that this is a place where you can learn, where you are going to be told the truth, even if it sucks, where we are always going to share what we've learned, even if it's painful, and that we're always going to share the opportunities, because when we all benefit together as a community, we are far stronger. I know that through and through, to the bone. A community of people is stronger than any one person alone. So what is this community? What is this garden? Who's in it? And what are we going to do with it? That is not my question to answer. That is my question to pose. And I want you to think deeply about that question and bring to the table your best ideas, your best self, and in the support of each other, let's make this something that we are so excited to participate in. So I will leave it at that. Thanks for listening to this rather long and rambling manifesto. But until next time, as always, cheers.